Well, there's a rumors of Canelo Alvarez creating his own weight class again. We back, Goodfella Sports TV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. And I'm really not surprised about this, man. I mean, he might just defend the regular Super WA, Super Middleweight WBA belt. I don't see how you fight above 160 and create his own weight class and still be able to keep his middleweight titles, but maybe they can work something out for him. But I think it's comical. But you get away with it when you're the most popular boxer in the world, and you fought the level of opposition he fought when nobody else his age or around his age is fighting that opposition. So he pretty much can do what he want to do in the sport of boxing, and ain't nobody gonna be mad or say nothing about him. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of Americans don't care about boxing. Okay, that's a fact. And the other half of the Americans, other ones that care are Mexican Americans, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man. So, it is what it is for him, man. He want to do it. I mean, he changing the game. And you gotta respect it, man. He changing the game. And man, it's frustrating in the sport of boxing, man. We got weight classes already, okay? We got junior middleweight and all the other middleweights, all the other weight divisions that's in the sport of boxing that was added, and you still got to create another weight class. And the reason that he probably got to create another weight class, because I told you guys this week that he still had a sauna suit on the week before the fight, so he had a hard time making 168 pounds himself. It wasn't a layup like we all would probably anticipate it being a layup to make 168 pounds. So now he wants to do a catchweight class, and also that will give him ability to come up with an excuse to not fight Charlo, Jacobs, and Andrade. And I believe that's a positive. If he relinquishes belts and say he gonna fight at super middleweight, because that's what technically 165 or 164 and a half, whatever the Canelo new weight class gonna be. I mean, at least that let other fighters, fight for belts and become undisputed. These guys ain't sitting around and holding belts and waiting for Canelo Alvarez. So, kind of in a way, that's a noble thing to do. If he relinquishes middleweight belts and let the rest of the players at that division just fight it out, and you say, okay, I already did what I'm supposed to do. I beat the guy, Triple G, at the weight class. I'm going to go up here at 165, and once y'all figure it out, then, if y'all want to, y'all come up here and fight me or not. But Canelo Alvarez is going to find a way out, and people are going to find a way to reason it, you know what I'm saying? And that's boxing, Some people are so super fanboys of fighters that, like I said before, they defend these fighters before they defend their family, before they defend their kids, before they defend their mama. They defend them fighters to the death. And they don't even fight for their life like that, you know what I'm saying? So it is disgusting, you know what I'm saying? It's very disgusting that people will, reason it. And people reason why Anthony Joshua ducked, $50 million, you know what I'm saying? They claim that he making 30 million pounds per fight. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? But people claiming that he getting all this big money and all of this and that. And it's funny that both are two of the biggest duckers that potentially could end up on the same network in the zone, and they continue to give you a shitty product. Because last night, that was terrible, man. I don't know how you subscribe to the zone after seeing that. How do you pay $10 and say, oh, I want to sign up to the zone and see more of that? No. I'm just not with that, man, But at the end of the day, he going to have every advantage. So if he want to create his own weight class, I think that's a positive for like the Jacobs, the Saunders, the Andrades, and Charlo, because, at least you guys have an opportunity. He's stepping aside. You got an opportunity to scrap it out amongst yourself and see who the best is. He didn't want to play ball with you guys. He didn't. He didn't want to play ball with you guys. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to square up. He didn't want to smoke. History is going to say, oh, Canelo outgrew the weight class. Boy, you only fought there twice. He only fought at 160 versus Golovkin twice. Versus Cotto was 155 and a half or whatever the hell it was. And these dudes putting catch weights on top of catch weights is pathetic in my opinion. But like I say, I have no issue with it if he drop his middleweight belts and go to 165 and a half or 164 and a half or 165, whatever he chooses to do, and let the brothers scrap it out down there. Let the Billy Joe, let Charlo, let Jacobs, let Andrade, let, everybody else down there, get it popping. Because then you're going to have Jamil or her move up there as well. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, The Zone don't know what they did. The Zone really made a piss poor judgment. They threw a whole bunch of money at Canelo Alvarez, and it's not gonna work out. I'm telling you, you're not gonna get the fights the fans want to see. You know, and at the end of the day, it's already a piss poor product. This was the worst launch of anything I've seen launch, bro. This was the worst launch, bar none. This was a terrible launch for a boxing product, man. I mean, for any product. You know, I seen, man, the opening USA press conference for the Zone, the shitty fights, and now, you know, you got two promoters that's jockeying for position. You would think they'd be willing to make Danny Jacobs and Canelo, and I'll get into that in the next video. You would think they'd be willing to make that fight for the network, but they're not. Golden Boy wants low-risk fights for high reward for Canelo Alvarez. That's what Canelo Alvarez wants as well. Canelo Alvarez don't care what people think about him in North America. He care about what people think about him in Mexico. You know, that's what he care about. He don't care about what we think over here. He just gonna steal, you know, rob the bank over here and get it in one time for the one time. You know what I'm saying? Get his money and get out. You already got people calling him a first ballot Hall of Famer, neglecting the talk about him failing 2 separate alleged PED tests. And also Floyd Mayweather saying back in 2013 that he thought he was on something. They just neglecting that. And neglecting that how he had great stamina in the second Triple G fight after he got a 6-month suspension for Computerol. That's what it does. And he for like 4 months out of the suspension, he was doing what he wanted to do. You know, he didn't have to take a drug test. But the media fails to neglect that. They give it a pass like it never happened in history. And that's boxing. Boxing gives its PED offenders time and time, pass again. You would think everybody would be on Victor Conte helmet because Willie Monroe popped hot and he was a snack fighter. You have several snack fighters that all in my opinion, always thought they all was suspect in my opinion. Okay? Anybody that rode with Victor Conte, and I like a couple of the snack fighters like Devin Haney. I like Andrade. They suspect to me, bro. Anytime you work with a sleazeball like Victor Conte, you know, he's suspect. And I need people to realize, you know, look up his history and what he done. How much of a rat he was. How dirty snake he was. You know? So I'm not neglecting it and pointing out a Mexican fighter that failed the test. I point out all fighters. I go back to Lamont Peterson, even though he was cleared. I go to Luis Ortiz. You go to Lucas Brown. You go to Tyson Fury. You go to 4 out of 6 heavyweights, the top 10 heavyweights that I can remember, tested hot. Real talk. 4 out of 6. The only 2 that didn't is AJ and Wilder. You got Ortiz who popped hot, Povetkin who popped hot. You got Big Baby Miller popped hot, Dillian White popped hot, Tyson Fury popped hot. So like I say, man, you know, boxing is the most forgiving sport. You got dudes who wrap their hand in plaster and nothing happened. And Canelo Alvarez tried to get the advantage yesterday with stacking his gloves. You can't do that in New York, man. They should fine him for that. You can do that in Vegas and California. Or Nevada and California. Like I said, man, if he get out the way, man, you ain't gonna hear no complaints from me. I don't care about what he doing. As long as he dropped them belts and them guys at 160 can figure out who the best, I'm happy that. You ain't holding up the weight class. I don't really care what's going on at 168 right now. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing at 165 or 164 and a half or 165 and a half, wherever you want to fight next. Because he's going to fight David Lemieux next. Okay? I'm a firm believer he's going to fight David Lemieux at a catch weight of 165 and a half or 164 and a half, whatever floats his boat, and he's going to put a rehydration clause on David Lemieux. And really, really handicap David Lemieux. I'm telling y'all that's what's going to happen. This dude need every advantage versus any possible opponent. Why would you need an advantage versus Rocky Fielding? Why would you need to stack your gloves, stack your hand wraps, knowing the rules of New York? And they're going to get away with it if Rocky Fielding team didn't say nothing. So wherever he go, man, Golden Boy make sure he get a competitive advantage. All the advantages. I never seen an A-side need every advantage in the book and still barely be beating people's asses. Even though he clearly won yesterday. You know, it's making people throw up. But if he gets out of the division, you know, I don't care if y'all give him a pass or not give him a pass. As long as them brothers can fight and figure out who the best, that's all I care about, man. It is what it is, man. Goodfella Sports TV, your boy CJ Goodfella. I appreciate everybody for checking in. We on Facebook, we on Twitter. Also a Facebook group. You can check the 3 links out in the description as well. Also, you can make a donation to the channel. That link's there as well. Reach out to me in email as well. I definitely appreciate you and yours. Continue to share the videos, man. Continue to spread the channel, man. We talk NBA, NFL, combat sports, all types of stuff. We got playlists that are that are categorized, man. So you can check out all the stuff we got going. So I definitely appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. I'm gonna bounce back with another video after this. about Danny Jacobs, man. And hopefully you guys enjoy the channel.